Hey everybody, Steven here, and today I am looking at the Govee Glide. So this is essentially RGB light bars from Govee here. These have been out for probably about a year. I've seen a lot of other people use them. I've had them on my list to get for some time now, and with this what I really want to do is I have my 3D wall panels right here. I want to put something kind of in the middle, because what I've noticed is I have the light strips that go around it, and I do have my G560 speakers here, but it doesn't quite illuminate the middle. So I end up using these other lights to actually do that. So I'm hoping if I put this right in the middle, it'll make this look even cooler. So this is normally $100. It was discounted to $89.99. And I noticed that they do discount these products a lot. And then it had a discount code. So I think I ended up getting this for like 60 bucks. And there are two different versions, because there's another one. I don't know much in terms of the difference other than it comes with more pieces, and it's $150. So this one should have 6 straight ones and then a 90-degree one. Quick with this, smart voice controlled, multiple scene modes, colorful lighting. These are dimmable, segmented color control, and you can have timers with this. One of the big things that I've said with Govee, because I have a lot of their products now, the app is so easy to use. So let's get this thing unboxed here and then look at what this looks like, and then we'll get it installed, and I'll talk about the process of getting it installed. Oh, this is harder to get open than I thought. Now, these are 300 meters each, which is essentially close to 12 inches. It's 11.8 inches with this. Let's see, quick start guide, and then user manual. We'll see if this even gives us the specs with this, because that's one of the things I don't know if it does that. With this, tells the model these are 12 volt 3 amp. You can use voice control with this. It doesn't look like it gives you the specs though. One of the things I haven't been able to find is essentially how bright do these get, right? What's the brightness with this? But let's see. Power adapter, looks like it has a decent cable length with this. And then after that, see what this one is. This is actually how we're going to plug this in. They do usually have 3M tape on this, so it'll just mount to wherever you need it to go on the wall. And then this looks how it's actually going to connect. The cool thing with this too is that you could expand this. I don't know if there's a limit with how many you could string together. Obviously there's going to be some type of power limitation, but since these are LEDs, you probably could put a bunch of them together. And then we have our 90-degree angle right here. Put this to the side, and then right here, so these are all 6 of our actual lights. It already has a 3M tape built into it too. That was one of the things I was curious about. And it is harder to see. I don't know if I can get that off. Yeah, there we go. So you can see that is actually Velcro too. Nice. My biggest concern here is when I put it on this, when I'm like, I don't know if I want that there. I'm gonna have to be very careful with how I peel this off, because these are essentially taped with 3M tape to a piece of wood that I've actually had floated from the wall. So we'll see with that. Shouldn't be an issue, and I should like it, but it looks like we have our little clips here at the bottom too. So it'll just clip right into that, and then you could string these together. And yeah, we have all 6 here. Let's see how this clips together really quick though. So yeah, we have like our output and then our input side here. That's it. We want to pull these apart, boom. And so we have our teeth on this end, and then on this end, you'll see it just makes that connection with that. Super easy to do. Now the hard part is, what type of shape do you want? And yeah, you'll want these to sit close, because it looks like otherwise, yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of flex in that. But if it's up against the wall, you've set these where you need them, it shouldn't be an issue. But we have a bunch of different configurations. I'm probably gonna do, which I see a lot with advertisements with this, the images, where it's like kind of like a check mark, like it'll go up, not quite a triangle. I could do a triangle because I could have 3 on each side, but I'll probably do 4 or 5, and then I'll have 1 or 2 on the other side. So I can kind of come across this at an angle and then come down a little bit. It's either that or I do it as a U, and you don't really see the bottom here, which is something else I could do. Again, I could add on to this later if I wanted to. So I think I'm gonna spend a little bit of time trying to figure out, I'll probably make those configurations, put them up there, just see how they look, and like, do I like that or not? Even plug them in, maybe hold them for a second, and then figure out from there what I'm gonna do with this. And then we'll cut back, show some B-roll of what this actually looks like when it's up. I'll talk about the process of installing it, and then kind of wrap this video up with this. And this ends up being, I have 2 Govee immersions in the house. This is a Govee RGB light strip that goes around the actual 3D panels here. And then I have 2 of the table lights as well. So I use a lot of their products. And so far, the app has been the big draw for me, and they have decent price points with all of their products. The Govee immersion, by the way, is phenomenal. So if you haven't used that one, I'll make sure links for all these other videos that I've done here in the description, and they show up at the end with this as well. But let's go ahead and cut ahead now. Let's figure out what we're gonna do in terms of the orientation, the configuration of this, and then get this thing up on the wall.
All right, so installing this is somewhat simple, getting it all set up. It all takes about maybe 5-10 minutes. This didn't go according to plan though with putting this up on the 3D panels. So you do have the tape that you peel off once you connect all of these. I tried to pick kind of the spot, and I was doing some testing with this to figure out what I think is going to look best. Once I found that out, tried putting this up, but it just wouldn't stick because there's not enough in terms of points and surface area on those 3D panels. So the good news is I have a secondary rig in this office, this kind of workspace that I have here. So I just moved it over there, which actually originally was what I wanted this for, until I noticed that the light with the 3D panels just wasn't what I wanted it to be. So I actually wanted it over here first. That was my first thought. And then I was like, let's try it over here. Didn't work out. So luckily I had a backup with this, and it looks really, really good. So once you get this all installed, you just plug it in, and then it'll kind of shoot the light down it, letting you know it's all connected, and then you are good to go. And then you just download the app, you pull it up, you connect to it, you can rename it, and then you're good to go. So let's go ahead and look at the app really quick. All right, so there's a lot to unpack with this. I'm not going to cover everything just because it would take forever to do this, but the first thing, we have a color tab here. So you have music, color, scene, and do-it-yourself DIY. With this, you can select different zones on this and then change the color, which is what you're seeing me do right now. So you can mix this up, create your own colors. Now they just have the colors right there, or you can choose a color wheel and then just simply click on whichever one you want. And then you can create your own colors within that you really, really like. For scenes, there are a lot of them, right? Natural, and it has all these, and they update these quite frequently, which is nice. But we have natural. These all have different types of not only color schemes but effects that they do. Then we have life, and within this you have all these different ones that you can use. Emotion we have here, and then after that we have festival, and then funny. These are kind of like one of those things where not all of these are going to appeal to you, but you may have a handful that you really, really like. Or again, you can just create your own music with this, and then you can change whichever scene you want within this, but then the sensitivity to that as well. And you can play music off of your phone and it'll change that. And then do it yourself if you want to do that. You can also change the timer and brightness as well. So this is just going to be me cycling through some more of these scenes while I talk about a couple different things with this. One, and I mentioned it in the first portion, there is a good amount of flex in the actual bars themselves if you have it with a specific orientation. So essentially if it's folding down, so you have to be careful with that so that you don't actually break it. That was one of my concerns, especially once you have it built. The other thing is with this, in terms of attaching to the wall, I like that the Velcro is pre-attached to this, pre-installed. You can always replace it with this. It does make it easy. So it's actually fit inside of a groove too with this. So if you didn't want that, you could actually not use it, and then you could put it on the flat surface with this. This happened to work out when I installed this on the hexagon panels that I have, because I already had the line, so I knew what angle it was going to be at. And that made it easy. If not, they do recommend that you kind of line it up, maybe make some marks, and then you actually, instead of like I did, which is I built the whole thing, you build it, you check it, and then you essentially disassemble it and then slowly build it while you place it on the wall. Kind of your choice. I built it, like I said, and then went ahead and put it on the wall. It was just easier for me that way with this. But I like the scenes. I like the color effects. This gets incredibly bright, by the way. So I actually notice when I'm playing games, it's so bright with where it's at. I actually have to turn the brightness down probably to like 30-40%. Otherwise, it's just blaring. So the place that you're going to put this right? With that, like if I have it behind the computer, it's too bright. I have to turn it down, which is good because if I put it somewhere else and you do need this to be really bright, right? It's in a movie theater room, whatever it may be, it definitely will get bright enough for you with this. And the cool news is you could always put more on this, right? You could just string this out. I don't know if that has a limit. I'm assuming it does with this, just based off of the power brick and things like that, but I haven't seen anything on that. I probably will get another pair of these. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do on the 3D panels because unfortunately this didn't work out, but I'm very happy with this product. I think the price is really good for this. If you get it on sale, $100, it's pretty steep, but if you get it on a sale, it is definitely worth it. So that's actually going to be it for this one. Just be mindful of the couple things that I talked about. This has a little bit of flex in it, right? I think the app is easy to use. Make sure you know where you're going to install this. If you need to use different tape, for instance, that may be something that you need to consider. But overall, happy with the product. I will have a link for this in the description if you want to pick this up. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.